Kindly like, subscribe and comment to get daily updates. Manoj Kumar Sharma, designated person, pledged 3.59 thousand shares of AAVAS Financiers worth 52.92 lakh rupees via pledge released. Adani Tradeline LLP, earlier known as PHARMACEUTICALS LLP. Promoter Group revoked 88.89 lakh shares of ADANI Enterprises worth 253.47 crore rupees via revocation of pledged. Adani Tradeline LLP. Promoter Group revoked 7.02 lakh shares of ADANI Ports in Special Economic Zone worth 24.78 crore rupees via revocation of pledged. UD Education Society. Promoter Group disposed 1.50 lakh shares of ALEMBIC Pharmaceuticals worth 14.38 crore rupees via a market sale. ASHAPURA Industrial Finance. Promoter Group acquired 13.44 thousand shares of ASHAPURA MINECHEM worth 9.43 lakh rupees via market purchase. Satva Holding and Trading Private. Promoter pledged 3.57 lakh shares of Asian Paints worth 69.47 crore rupees via creation of pledged. Mr. Deepak Kumar Singh, designated person, disposed 20.00 thousand shares of Alkem Laboratories worth 5.76 crore rupees via a market sale. Shri Kurush Irani, designated person, disposed 1.50 thousand shares of Bajaj Finance worth 54.09 lakh rupees via market sale. Shri Vipin Arora, designated person, acquired 3.75 thousand shares of Bajaj Finance worth 27.12 lakh rupees via ESOP. The Hindustan Times. Promoter acquired 39.99 thousand shares of CHAMBAL Fertilizers and Chemicals worth 58.58 lakh rupees via market purchase. Geeta Vaswani. Promoter Group disposed 1.06 thousand shares of Dixon Technologies, India, worth 90.42 lakh rupees via a market sale. Kailash Chandri Sharma, designated person, disposed 100 shares of Dixon Technologies, India, worth 8.54 lakh rupees via a market sale. Lalit Kumar Shukla, designated person, disposed 250 shares of Dixon Technologies, India, worth 21.49 lakh rupees via market sale. Rajiv Eloina AL, designated person, disposed 150 shares of Dixon Technologies, India, worth 12.52 lakh rupees via a market sale. G.K. and Sons Pvt. Promoter Group acquired 7.00 lakh shares of ELECTROSTEEL castings worth 1.18 crore rupees via market purchase. GK Investments. Promoter Group acquired 6.00 lakh shares of ELECTROSTEEL castings worth 95.97 lakh rupees via market purchase. Sri KHEMISATI Constructions Pvt Ltd. Promoter Group acquired 2.00 lakh shares of ELECTROSTEEL castings worth 33.66 lakh rupees via market purchase. International Conveyors. Promoter Group acquired 2.00 lakh shares of ELPRO International worth 80.22 lakh rupees via market purchase. Devakar VINIYOG Private Limited. Promoter Group revoked 5.00 lakh shares of EMAMI worth 18.45 crore rupees via pledged released. SUNTRACK Commerce Private Limited. Promoter Group revoked 5.00 lakh shares of EMAMI worth 18.52 crore rupees via pledged released. Mr. Hemant Daga, designated person, disposed 30.00 thousand shares of Edelweiss Financial Services worth 23.30 lakh rupees via a market sale. Shilpa Gatani, designated person, disposed 20.00 thousand shares of Edelweiss Financial Services worth 15.59 lakh rupees via a market sale. Robin Pinto, promoter group, acquired 500 shares of GLENMARK Pharmaceuticals worth 2.40 lakh rupees via market purchase. Nitin S. Nubber, director, disposed 1.50 thousand shares of GODREJ Industries worth 6.89 lakh rupees via market sale. Mr. Paras Bhatia, promoter, acquired 23.28 thousand shares of Hindustan Tin Works worth 10.17 lakh rupees via market purchase. Gaul Vikram, designated person, pledged 7.00 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 1.25 crore rupees via creation of pledged. Verma Ajare, designated person, pledged 24.23 thousand shares of Housing Development Finance Corp. worth 4.29 crore rupees via creation of pledged. Anand Shah, employee, acquired 5.00 thousand shares of ICICI Bank worth 11.81 lakh rupees via ESOS. Ganesh Balasubramanian, employee, disposed 8.00 thousand shares of ICICI Bank worth 32.60 lakh rupees via a market sale. Gayatri Priyam Javeri, promoter, disposed 90.00 thousand shares of IEL worth 1.80 lakh rupees via off-market. Kalpana Ben Chimpaklal Shah, promoter, acquired 6.06 lakh shares of IEL worth 12.13 lakh rupees via off-market. Nanavati Specialty Chemicals Private, promoter, disposed 1.51 lakh shares of IEL worth 3.03 lakh rupees via off-market. Priyam Shantilal Javeri, promoter, disposed 4.97 lakh shares of IEL worth 9.94 lakh rupees via off-market. Romit Chimpaklal Shah, promoter, acquired 1.32 lakh shares of IEL worth 2.64 lakh rupees via off-market. Andrew Groth, designated person, disposed 12.68 thousand shares of INFOSYS worth 1.18 crore rupees via a market sale. INFOSYS Employee Benefits Trust, disposed 7.88 thousand shares of INFOSYS worth 73.63 lakh rupees via a market sale. International Conveyors Limited, promoter, acquired 2.00 lakh shares of International Conveyors worth 80.22 lakh rupees via market purchase. Prakash Nayak, designated person, disposed 1,000 shares of IPCA Laboratories worth 20.38 lakh rupees via a market sale. Map Auto, promoter, pledged 2.50 lakh shares of JAMNA Auto Industries worth 1.18 crore rupees via creation of pledged. Map Auto, promoter, acquired 1.78 lakh shares of JAMNA Auto Industries worth 78.99 lakh rupees via market purchase. Mudit Singhal, designated person, disposed 1.70 thousand shares of Laurus Labs worth 20.42 lakh rupees via a market sale. NURUBHASHUBABCHAND, designated person, pledged 25.00 thousand shares of Laurus Labs worth 2.94 crore rupees via creation of pledged. ADAVAS Finance Private Limited, promoter group, acquired 16.00 lakh shares of Mangalore Chemicals and Fertilizer worth 5.96 crore rupees via market purchase. Paridhi Minda, promoter and director, acquired 1 shares of MINDA Industries worth 58 rupees via off-market. Vikas Bajaj, employee, disposed 16.05 thousand shares of MINDA Industries worth 44.71 lakh rupees via a market sale. Cameron Ozier CLSO Investment Pvt. Promoter, disposed 4.00 lakh shares of MINDTREE worth 48.01 crore rupees via a market sale. Scott Staples CLSO Investment Pvt. Promoter, disposed 3.00 lakh shares of MINDTREE worth 36.01 crore rupees via a market sale. BEGUMBNUAKBERALI Rayani Promoter Group acquired 1.26 lakh shares of Panama PETROCHEM worth 66.75 lakh rupees via market purchase. Ronson Traders Limited Promoter Group acquired 1.72 thousand shares of Bajaj Securities worth 54.61 thousand rupees via market purchase. Land Holdings Limited Promoter Group acquired 89.17 thousand shares of Pudumji Paper Products worth 12.72 lakh rupees via market purchase. JAMNA V.A. Patel Promoter and Director acquired 2.25 thousand shares of Radhe Developers India worth 23.65 thousand rupees via market purchase. Pranav Shah Promoter acquired 4.72 thousand shares of Sacheta Metals worth 68.14 thousand rupees via market purchase. Satish Kumar Kesha Promoter acquired 6.36 thousand shares of Sacheta Metals worth 91.29 thousand rupees via market purchase. Sarjita Pillai Promoter disposed 15.00 thousand shares of Sequent Scientific worth 19.95 lakh rupees via a market sale. Shatna Rasapur Director disposed 25.05 thousand shares of Sequent Scientific worth 33.45 lakh rupees via a market sale. Rajat Lal Promoter acquired 2.08 thousand shares of Sir Shadi Lal Enterprises worth 86.34 thousand rupees via market purchase. Jayant Davar Promoter and Director acquired 1.50 thousand shares of Sandhar Technologies worth 3.45 lakh rupees via market purchase. Rekha Gupta Promoter Group acquired 91.00 thousand shares of Share India Securities worth 78.01 lakh rupees via market purchase. Suman Gupta Promoter Group acquired 83.00 thousand shares of Share India Securities worth 71.01 lakh rupees via market purchase. Tripti Gupta Promoter Group acquired 84.00 thousand shares of Share India Securities worth 71.87 lakh rupees via market purchase. R. Ramakrishnan Director acquired 1,000 shares of Solara Active Pharma Sciences worth 0 rupees via off-market. Usha Ramakrishnan Director's immediate relative disposed 1,000 shares of Solara Active Pharma Sciences worth 0 rupees via off-market. Dhananjay Patankar Designated Person disposed 2.77 thousand shares of Syngene International worth 13.21 lakh rupees via a market sale. Corporate Sajeev Thomas Promoter Group acquired 72.00 thousand shares of Tourism Finance Corporation of India worth 28.31 lakh rupees via market purchase. M. Srinivasan Employ acquired 1.27 thousand shares of V-Mart Retail worth 5.98 lakh rupees via ESOP. Rajan Sharma Employ acquired 3.42 thousand shares of V-Mart Retail worth 16.06 lakh rupees via ESOP. Abid Ali Z. Nimichwala Connected Person disposed 24.69 thousand shares of Wipro worth 77.89 lakh rupees via market sale.